on.
The Skype very willing.
Yes.
The first disk drive that I ever saw was the size and weight of a refrigerator and gave off as much heat. It could hold 1 megabyte. It was so expensive it was far more likely to be used for tables or records than for files or databases. That means a gigabyte would have been the megabyte was the refrigerator. A gigabyte would have been 1,000 refrigerators. At the same time, the storage medium of choice was punched paper, cards, or tape. A gigabyte in punched cards would fill a railroad boxcar. The first hard drive I ever bought was 10 megabytes and cost me $3,000 at the IBM employee price. I thought I'd never use it up. It was the size and weight of 2 bricks. And you can now buy a terabyte in a cigar box for $115. I kid you not. In fact, at this morning's prices, you can get one that's external, USB connected, for a terabyte for about $120. This morning, you can buy an 8 gigabyte SD card for $9.19. Now, part of the problem with all of this is that we tend to think about this kind of storage as having a constant price at whatever today's price is. But as recently as July, that same 8 gigabyte SD card would have cost $18, dropped in half in just a couple of months. And that's not at all unusual. Last week, it cost $11. This week, it's down to $9.19. Now, I thought that an SD card, the size of a postage stamp, was as small as a storage device would ever get. Smaller than that, one can hardly label it or keep up with it. However, the devices on which we are using storage are getting smaller and smaller, and as a consequence, we have the micro SD card. Now, I got to tell you, that 8 gigabytes, and that is really tiny. You can't write on it, you can't put a label on it. Now, about every decade or so, as storage gets smaller, denser, and cheaper, managers begin to worry that its very existence will encourage data theft. First time that happened was when people realized that you could carry out a 2,400 reel of tape under your overcoat, or you could send down half a dozen of them in the wastepaper basket and nobody was likely to ever notice. Said another way, it's been a long time since the weight or volume of the data storage media was a deterrent to its theft. However, we're going through the panic again, and this time it's over the USB drive. Now, I'm a geek. I have lots of these things.
All right. Well, we lost Bill there, so we'll have him come back in just a few minutes.